Hello, and thank you for joining me. Today, we are returning to Fallout 76 for another weapon spotlight video. As normal, I'll start off by giving you a view of the weapon itself and my build, and then we'll go on ahead and take on some ghouls, some super mutants, some robots, a Mirelurk Queen, and then a Scorch Beast to see how the weapon performs. So let's go on ahead and get started here. Today we're going to be showing a spotlight on the two-shot submachine gun with exploding bullets and Vats critical meter feeling 15% faster. I got this from my most recent trip to the Purveyor, and I want to see just how good this weapon actually is. I don't expect it to be top tier, but I do expect it to be pretty solid. I don't have all of the mods for the submachine gun. I'm missing two. I scrapped a whole bunch of submachine guns and I just couldn't get those last two. But I think the mods that I've got on here should be good enough to at least give us an overview of what the weapon will perform like. So let's go ahead and take a look. We've got the standard receiver, because I don't have any other receiver other than the Prime, and I don't see the point in crafting up a bunch of Ultrasight 45 ammo just for this. But you could get a little bit better damage with the Prime receiver. Just kind of keep that in mind. I have the short light barrel, which actually surprisingly gives better range than the standard barrel. So that's why I'm running that. And I believe that this weapon is a little odd in the regards that that is the longest range barrel on it, if I'm not mistaken. I've got the recoil compensating stock just because, you know, compensating for some recoil is not a bad thing, and there's not a lot of options in the stocks. I've got the large quick eject drum to get some extra rounds in the magazine. It's actually a pretty generous clip of 62, and also it increases the reload speed a bit, and the reflex sight to reduce the AP cost, and the suppressor to help me stay in stealth. So that's the weapon. I think we'll do alright with it here, but let's go on ahead and take a look at my build. So I've got Traveling Pharmacy, just one point in it to help me carry around some meds and such without taking up so much weight. Bandolier, so that my ammo doesn't weigh much. Blocker, to help me stay alive against melee enemies. I am a bloodied build, though I do actually recommend this perk for pretty much any player who's going to be seeing significant combat. The melee enemies in this game hit very hard, and even full health builds, I believe, can benefit from some number of points in the blocker perk. I've got Master Commando, Commando, and Expert Commando all maxed out for maximizing my damage with automatic rifles. I've got Ground Pounder to increase my reload speed. I've got 2 ranks in it. I've got the full 3 ranks of Tank Killer to give me the maximum armor penetration that I can get from perks, as well as a little bit of a chance to stagger the enemy. And I've got 1 point in concentrated fire, mainly just so that I can target the weak points. It's not really worth running the full 3 points with an automatic weapon, in my opinion. I've got Fireproof to help me stay alive through fire and explosions, Radical to help me carry more stuff, Strange in Numbers to increase the strength of my mutations when I am in a group. That won't be a factor today, but it is something that generally helps me out. I've got Team Medic for helping to stay alive in things like daily ops and boss fights, things like that. Again, won't be much of a factor today, but it's one I like having around. Tenderizer to do some more damage, Nerd Rage to do some more damage and get some more damage resistance and a little bit of more AP regen when I'm at 20% health or below, which I will be for at least the majority of this video. Batteries included to help me reduce the weight of my energy ammo. Demolitions Expert today instead of Gunsmith, because I am running an explosive weapon here, so I want to get the maximum bang for that. Action Boy for some more AP regen. I am very VATS dependent. I'm not dependent, but it's the way I like to play. Covert Operative to help my sneak attacks do some extra damage. Born Survivor to help me stay alive, just a single rank in it. Sneak to help me stay in stealth. Escape Artist to help me get back into stealth. 1 point of Adrenaline, which gives me more than half of the benefit of the full 5 ranks of it for some extra damage. Dodgy to help me stay alive when I either feel like running a gunning or just when my stealth fails me. Better criticals because I do put out a lot of criticals. Serendipity to help me stay alive. Ricochet to help me stay alive. Starch genes so I can keep my mutations. Super Duper is actually not supposed to be on there. That's supposed to be Bloody Mess for some extra damage. And Critical Savvy so that I can gain a critical hit roughly every other shot with the equipment that I have and my high luck score with the unyielding effects. And for legendary perks, I have taking one for the team maxed out, which will get me some extra damage when I am being attacked, whether it be from the blind fire from the enemies or an area of effect, or just when my stealth fails me. Getting some extra damage there is nice, and it does work when you are on a public team by yourself, so that will help us today potentially. Follow through because I'm a stealth character, and that is just a very powerful perk for any stealth character. Master Infiltrator, mainly because I find it convenient, and then some extra points of luck, agility, and intelligence. So here's the effects that I have. I'm not going to go through every single one. I will be getting myself well hydrated and well tuned before we go because I do appreciate the bonuses to AP regen there. But other than that, this is my standard list. Oh, I've already got well hydrated, but I'll be topping that off before I go. And then my gear, you've already seen the weapon. This is the armor that I'm using. It's really nothing special at the moment, but it does the trick for the time being. I am slowly but surely trying to replace it with better pieces, but for the moment this is what I've got and it's doing the trick. Alright, so with that all said, let's go on ahead and go see about finding some ghouls to kill. Okay, here we are outside the White Springs Golf Club, and we're going to go ahead and try this thing out against some ghouls and see how it does. As expected, I will be running in stealth here. Didn't manage to jump over the tripwire there like I usually try to, but oh well. And I'm too heavy. Oh well. Okay, so 2 shots in the torso to put a ghoul down, it looks like. How about in the head? Only 1. So it's an interesting thing about explosive weapons is that the amount of damage that the explosion does is dependent on, not taking 2 in the head, but is dependent on how far the explosion is from the ground. And I'm getting situations where either Vats was lagging or not registering my damage. But anyway, the closer the target is to the ground or within range of the explosive effect, the more damage it will do. So with the explosive legendary effect on weapons, it's not a very big range. So you typically, to get the full benefit from it, you need to target in the torso or the legs or something like that. You will see some benefit from the head, but it will be a reduced benefit. I don't understand exactly how that works, but I've seen testing with that, and it does hold up from what I've seen. So, but even so, we're having no problem putting these ghouls down very quickly and easily. Other than when Vats is misbehaving, of course. I'm not even using much in the way of criticals here. Now we'll go back to using criticals. But in many cases, it is worth just targeting the torso with an explosive weapon. It just depends. And I will say that this is definitely not as powerful as the quad handmade that I was testing last week, or probably even the quad faster fire rate assault rifle that I was testing the week before, but it's still a solid weapon. It can be a lot of fun. One thing to be aware of, though, is that I should probably take some carry weight booster here so that I am not just burning my AP as I'm moving around. There we go. Because that was what was going on there. But anyway, the explosive effect does have a little bit of a detrimental effect on stealth. It's not huge, but you do seem to be coming out of stealth a little bit more easily when you are using an explosive weapon. That's been my experience. Such as there, for example. Fortunately, I do feel like this is the kind of weapon I can trust to get me out of a bad situation like this. Yeah, I'm still in danger, but at the same time, I'm not really feeling concerned here. I don't know where the other guy went. Maybe he's over here. Let's just go run and gun him down. Where? There you are. And we got some guys out here. Well, they already killed a radstag, it looks like. So they're feeling ornery today. But yeah, it seems like oh, we got one more up here. There he is. And I'm still in caution. Ah, there we go. Now I'm hidden. Okay, so we've cleared this place. No real issues. So let's go on ahead and try it out on some super mutants. And here we are outside of the abandoned bog town. And I am just about to go take on whatever, I guess we're getting anglers today outside of the pylon. And then we'll go take on the super mutants in the bog town. Took a few rounds to take the angler down. Some of them either missed or didn't register, but still didn't go down too terribly difficult. Difficultly, I guess it would be. That's not great English there, but not having any problem taking those guys down. Let's see how it does against the behemoth and his buddies. So here, with the behemoth, because of how tall he is, this is a situation where you probably will lose a lot of benefit from the explosive effect if you target his head. So I'm going to go for the torso. Took him down with no real problem there. His buddies don't seem to be much more of a nuisance either. And we've got some cultists here to antagonize the mutants, apparently. So we'll kill them. This will also... Oh, he got me. Okay. Alright. That happens. Alright, well, let's go get some... Let's, first of all, get our health back where it should be. And go get some revenge on this guy. Oh, and looks like one of our super mutants is over here, so we'll get him real quick. Alright, cultist, where are you? Follow the sound of gunfire, I guess. And completed a challenge there. Wasn't really trying, but hey, I'll take it. I've already completed the board, so it's not really a big deal, but I'm not complaining for the extra stuff. Kill a few more super mutants here. I don't know if we got the cultist that got us, but got a cultist, and I'm not really seeing any others around, so but yeah, I think you get the idea of how this thing's performing against the super mutants and their hordes. I do get out of stealth a little bit more easily, which is pretty much what got me killed against the cultist. He had a flamer there, which just did a whole bunch of attacks all at once on me, you know, very high fire rate essentially, and that did me in. So anyway, let's go on ahead and try this thing out against some robots. Okay, here we are outside of Robco, where we're going to try this thing out against some robots and see how it does against them. We'll start with the big old sentry bot over here, and I'm not going to target his fusion cores because I just want to see how it does against him in general. We are suffering a little bit from the range on this weapon, but as we get closer, we're not having any major issues there with the accuracy, so he went down nice and quick. And let's see. Just targeting torsos here. And so far not having a lot of difficulty. Got the gutsy before he got us. That's a good thing. Is there anybody else over here? Nope. Alright, let's go find some Robo-Brains around back. He went down nice and easy. Now, I'll probably end up losing my stealth here, because this is, because of all the natural lighting and such, it's a very difficult place to stay in stealth, but no real difficulties. I think there's one more floating around here somewhere. I don't know where he's at, though. Alright, well, I'm not going to waste a lot of time trying to hunt one robot down, so let's go on ahead and move on and try this thing against a Mirelurk Queen. Okay, here we are at Spruce Knob Lake, where we're going to go ahead and see how this thing performs against a Mirelurk Queen. So, let's see how this goes for us. And we'll start by taking out a few of her spawn. And that guy is outside of our range, so we're suffering some accuracy penalties there. This weapon does have a little bit lower range than most of the other commando weapons, which is a little bit of a drawback in my opinion. Actually, it's a pretty significant drawback in my opinion, but when they're within range, it seems to perform just fine. So anyway, let's go ahead and call out the Queen, and alright, we've got 54 rounds. I'm not going to try to reload. Having trouble staying locked on in Vats here. Fortunately, I've got lots of poison protection on my armor, so her poison doesn't do a whole lot to me. And just put her down real quick there. So, not the quickest time that I've ever put one down, not even in these videos, but it did the job. It's not super powerful against her, but it eventually got the job done. So, anyway, let's see how this thing performs against some Scorch Beasts. Alright, here we are outside of Drop Site V9 and the Fisher Site Prime to see about finding a Scorch Beast or 3 to kill, and let's go on ahead and get started. I see that one has landed over here to go pick on something else, but let's see if we can get in on this fight before she takes off. Oh, she's going after a Deathclaw. Alright, Deathclaw's dead. Got her easily enough. Let's see if I can get back into stealth. Ah, there we go. And I'm back out of stealth, but definitely got a whole bunch of Scorch messing with me here. But weapon's doing fine. It's getting me out of it. It's not the most efficient for that, but it is doing the job. And I keep doing all kinds of unnecessary reloading here because this thing has a magazine of 62 that I am not used to a magazine that large. I typically run with a bloodied handmade and a magazine size of 20, so I'm used to just kind of obsessively reloading anytime that I have a moment. And that's kind of what I've been doing here, even though it really hasn't been necessary. So if I was using a weapon like this regularly, I would presumably get used to not needing to reload all the time, but here we are. Let's see, do we get one out of the hole today? We do. Got her before she took off. That's not bad. Still a little slower to kill her than I would have liked, but not terrible. And we got one up there. I think the range on this thing is going to be a bit of a drawback trying to catch that one's attention. We were lucky with the first one that was on the ground already, and then the one that came out of the hole. But put her down with no major issues, so yeah. I will say that this is not the best commando weapon out there by any means. But it's also not the worst by any means either. It's getting the job done. If you like the explosions, then you're getting those double explosions from it, which is kind of fun. So, you know, not the worst, not the best. I'd call it pretty middling. The ammo capacity is very nice, but I would prefer a little bit more damage on it. Got ourselves a Gourmand's Guitar Sword there, whoopee. But anyway, so yeah, this weapon, you could definitely do daily farming with it. I'm not sure it's the type of weapon you'd really want to bring to an endgame boss fight like the Scorchbeast Queen or Earl, but it would probably do just fine against them as long as you were not trying to solo them. Trying to solo with a weapon like this might be a bit of a challenge, but overall, it performed well enough. It did the job. So, yeah. We'll be back next week with some more content, and I appreciate everyone tuning in. Please remember, if you enjoy content like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel out, and it doesn't cost you anything. And once again, thank you for watching.